So it's been a long time. I think, what, 2-3 years since we all last saw each other? Well, the reason why I've been away is because during that period, the biggest life-changing things happened to me during that period. And it was mainly due to 3 things. I made a lot of lifestyle and health changes. Second is tattoos. And the last and probably the biggest reason is running. And so those were, I was always occupied with all those, and it made a big difference in my life. So in regards to health and lifestyle changes, well, what happened was I was starting to kind of think really in detail about what I was eating and what I was drinking, what it was doing to me. So the way I looked at it was, what are the benefits and negatives of what I eat? And I compared it. So to give you an example, I like to think of it as like, you think about the joy you get from eating something like pizza or something like that, then you compare it to the negatives of what happens after it. And so that's how I started to examine what I was really eating and drinking all the time. And I was thinking, the consequences, I didn't like it. I didn't like that terrible feeling you get afterwards. Tired, feeling sleepy, unproductive, issues like that. So that led me to eating more natural foods, cooking more, almost entirely. But it doesn't mean that I never, had an occasional snack or dessert or, things like that. But the way it changed for me was I am now able to control all of that, to where I don't, have these cravings or these urges to go, eat something like ice cream or chocolate or anything like that. Like, I can eat it and be okay. I actually prefer to eat and like to eat the more natural foods like vegetables, chicken, the meats. And so that's how. So with that, I incidentally lost a lot of weight. I noticed that my clothes were getting too big. So what happened was, I think it was last year, I started to buy a lot of medium-sized t-shirts. I bought my first small shirt, which I don't think I ever did in my life. So these things added up, all these changes that I made. And it was all for the better. Like, I feel so good every day. Like, I wake up early, I'm ready to go. I have no problem with any of that stuff. I don't feel tired in the evening. Nothing like that. I'm just always have positive energy. And I attribute that to these changes that I made. So the next important goal of mine was to finish my front panel tattoo. I started in 2017, 4 appointments in Poland, 4 days in a row, and it was very painful. And then 2 more in London, and it was actually finished this past September in London. And I can't express to you how happy I was to finally get it done, because I didn't like that feeling of having an unfinished tattoo. And so there's a lot of stress and a lot of complications to making these appointments, because you have to plan many months in advance, and there's just so many factors that you have to consider when when making these schedules. But I'm very happy that I finally got it done. The biggest change that happened to me was the running. This completely changed my life. I can't express to you as to what of a big difference it's made. It all started with, just doing small 1, 2, 3K runs after the gym, just to be healthy. But then what happened was, I would ask myself, could I run a little more, or how much more could I do? And that kind of that thinking, that mentality, I would apply it to my personal life was, could I be a little bit better? Could I sleep a little bit earlier? Can I wake up a little bit early? Things like that, these positive changes. So with the running, I would start to tell myself, okay, this time run a little bit more, or we're gonna run up until this distance or this time. And I would actually be able to do it. And it all starts with the mentality of start slow and push yourself, be positive minded, have an attitude of knowing that it can be possible. And then it progressed to doing where I was easily pushing myself to doing 5, 10, 15. And as you guys see it from my Instagram, I did 2 half marathons this past year and 1 full marathon. And I was going to do another full marathon next month, but that got canceled because of the virus. And so, to be more specific, I'm at that level where it's quite, I do half marathons, 21 kilometers, quite regularly now. And so, you know, I get a lot of messages through Instagram saying, like, oh, that's a lot, or how do you do it? And my response is, it's always like this. Like, I tell them, start out slow, you know, tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this amount, and then next time I'm going to do a little bit more. You know, push yourself into being positive minded and knowing that it can be possible if you just put the work in. You know, everything is going to be difficult at first, you know, so you're always going to want to quit. But when you overcome that ability, that doubt, then that's where you see the positive changes. And that's what happened to me. You know, I'm not some like super person or anything. I just told myself I'm going to do it and I'm going to persevere. And that's what happened. And that's where it's led me to where I am today. And I cannot tell you how happy I am. Man, running brings me so much joy. And I'm always thinking about the next run I'm going to do. And so I can't tell you how happy running has made me. It's really cold now and the rain's starting to pick up again. So I get asked about this virus stuff. And the best way to put it in words is that it's very stressful. Every time I read or watch the news, it's always something bad. You know, getting these emergency alerts on your phone, that adds to the stress, because it creates a sense of just negative energy, thinking, and just negative feeling. Every time, it's been like this for the past couple of days. The first thing I would do is, you know, when I wake up, I would check the news. And I have this feeling as if I hope that there will be something positive, like it's coming to an end, or you know, at least something good. Because when you wake up every day and you see what's happening, you get this feeling as if of helplessness a bit, and just hope that it's not affecting anyone directly, you know, like a friend or a family. It's definitely changed my daily lifestyle, meaning I'm not doing things that I would freely be able to do, like go to the movie theater, coffee shops, restaurants, places like that. I mean, I'm not living in complete fear, but just, you know, you have to exercise common sense. And so it's very stressful, and I can only hope and pray that it will come to an end soon. So everyone stay safe, and talk to you all soon.